How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm so jealous of your sparkle bust.
I know I'm like moving the camera back so it doesn't look like I'm naked for the entire live because otherwise it definitely will. This normally has straps and I like that hook in and I went to put it on and one of the straps was hanging on by a literal thread and I was like, well, we're just gonna have to toss the straps and go for total tube top bustier. So welcome to my boobs, everyone. You're welcome.
Welcome to my boobs. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. I'm so excited that we get to do this today. You and I were talking about this a couple months ago about what kind of conversation we might have for Pride Palooza this year. And we were like, you know what, let's just do something that's fun for us and like hopefully it'll be fun for other people.
Yeah. I was just telling my friend earlier, I feel like something that's not like scripted. I feel like you and I facilitate a lot. We hold a lot of space, so it's nice to like play, and just kind of like connect. It's just I'm grateful for it. How's Pride Palooza been for you so far?
Pride Palooza has been going well so far, getting to have lots of fun conversations with people. I mostly just like, I'm doing the TikToks and Reels thing lately. And for Pride, I'm like, I'm just going to do things that I think are funny. And it's fine if other people don't think that it's funny because I'm having a good time.
I feel like you've already checked off so many squares in the Sagittarius bingo. Like
Ah,
you're like, the strap's gone, cut it. I'm
nice.
doing things that are funny. I hope other people like it. I could learn a lot from you.
Just fire sign fun times. That was what we've said the official subtext for tonight was fire sign fashion review.
Yes, the overtext. I don't think you and I do subtext very well.
Yes. So the only scripted thing I'll have us do is, I guess, introduce ourselves because you'll probably have some people on who don't know me, and I'll have some people on who don't know you. So go for it. Tell us who you are.
Oh, yes. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Ah, ah.
There we go.
There it is. There it is. I know. Opal helped curl my hair earlier, so we're getting some waves. My name is Alex Locust. I also go by Glad I use he, she, and they pronouns interchangeably. I'm black biracial. I'm disabled. I'm queer. I live in San Francisco. I play in the Bay Area. Um, you know, I'm a facilitator. I'm a consultant. She dabbles in modeling. She dabbles in,
Dance.
runway work, dance, drag. Really, my North Star is disability justice. And so I've spent the past couple of years really coming into that as a way of um, being a community member, being a friend, being a lover. What is the expansiveness of that? How do I show up for people in ways that's informed by disability justice, that helps promote, the how do I spread the good word of disability justice, and really like looking to create art and spaces that celebrate all bodies, right? All body minds. I think that's the beautiful thing about disability justice is that like ableism is harmful to everyone, not just people who we might deem to be disabled. And so following the lead of like black and brown, queer and trans disabled people as a way of like helping liberate ourselves from that pressure has been just like a joy. And I try to make it as like infectious as possible through adornment and fabulosity. And we are pink on pink today. I'm coming to you live from my
Yes.
yeah, that's a little about me.
Yes, my pink wall was inspired by your pink wall because the rest of this office is like a blue-gray color. And I was like, I need an accent wall and we're just not going to tell the old landlord about that. And again, Sagittarius energy. So,
Yes, you said I want to, so I will.
yep, I'll pay it back when the time comes. But for
Yeah.
now, It's fabulous. Yes, your infectious energy is so clear in everything that you do. I love the fabulousness and the fun and the lightness that you bring to what can and should be a very serious topic. But you make it your own. And I think that's kind of what we were talking about with this live tour. It's like, yeah, we're talking about something that's serious in terms of queerness and adornment, and those are very important topics, but we're going to do it in our own way, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it, because that's
Totally.
how I think if we're going to do this kind of work, like service work and work that is anchored in social justice, like we have to have the joy and the pleasure as well. We talk a lot about pleasure activism whenever you and I get together and how we embody that. And for those who don't know me, I'm Shore Davidi. I use she, her pronouns. I identify as queer and a lesbian. I am mixed race. I'm half Iranian and half white. Also neurodivergent. I have ADHD. And I work as a self-trust coach for primarily queer folks. I also work with non-queer folks too, but just on account of me being queer, the vast majority of my clients have ended up being queer. And I really try to help people come home to themselves and find their inner wisdom in a world that has taught, especially queer folks, but all marginalized people, that you can't be trusted. And actually you need to fit into these boxes and live according to this and this and this that has nothing to do with what you actually want or what feels good to you. So it's about coming back to the mind body, figuring out what it is that you need and is going to give you the kind of life that you're going to be happy to be living. And I love doing that work, and it's brought me into contact with awesome people like you, where now I get to do all kinds of collabs with you, and it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, we do have a good history together. We've many. I'm like imagining us as pop stars. We have quite a few duets in our history so far.
Yes. Okay, but which pop star duo would we be? There's so many great ones out there.
Wow,
That
what
was
a
a tough question to put you on the spot with. I
I
know.
know. I'm gonna be honest. My first thought, best thought, I went to Sweetest Pie. I feel like, we're giving a lot of Dua is. I know Dua is a Leo. I don't know what Meg the Stallion's astrological sun sign is, but it's definitely fiery. That video could be full Sagittarius. So,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
I like that. I will take it. Amazing. So you're going to be doing some outfit changes today. I feel like I want to explain that before you start disappearing at random intervals. So what Alex and I did before we got on this live is that we picked out some different prompts for outfits for you of, if you were going to go to this thing, what is the outfit that you would be wearing? So we're going to be kind of talking about different outfits and style, why you pick what you would pick. I've got like a whole table of makeup next to me to talk about some fun makeup things and some of my favorite products and tricks and stuff like that. And we'll sprinkle through it, why adornment and expression, this matters so much to us as queer people. But let's start with your first outfit. So what are you wearing right now? What is this one for?
Yes, this one, I believe the prompt you said, like, picnic day, like
Yeah, picnic day in the park.
picnic
Yes.
day at the park. Exactly, yes. So, being in San Francisco, typically that's Dolores Park. I'm gonna try this angle. Tell me how we're doing.
There you go. That's perfect. Oh, I love this shirt.
We've got this shirt.
Cute.
Little shorties. I feel like I call this kind of like, I feel like a little like tropical cruise director. A moment. I love this as like a park day because you got shorts. Always gotta. I love showing off the leg meat, the thigh meat. Oh, thank you, Andrew. And I love this pattern. It is like really plays into my love of like tropical jungle shenanigans. There's like, I should know animals, especially if I'm wearing them. Is Cheetah a jaguar? It's a big cat. I'm like,
It's a big cat.
It's Leo adjacent. I can give a lot of the taco meat, as my friend calls it.
Okay, talk to me about how you decide how many buttons you're going to unbutton.
This is an excellent question. I feel like I saw Ryan Patrick was on the call. I don't know if he's still logged in, but like RP has been just a beacon of inspiration because every time I see that babe out in public, like it is nearly belly button deep. And so I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna unbutton one more. Like
You can do one more.
I remember, like baby Alex being like, this is, I'm ready to go outside. Like I'd like just
All the way buttoned.
all the way, and then I'd be like, okay, maybe one. I feel like my chest hair was like a really big thing that I dealt with for a while, which feels very silly now knowing how much I love it. But like, you know, people made a lot of comments about like body hair at Miami. Like we can talk about that. But yeah, I just love being so unbuttoned at points where like I'll just look down and I'm like, is my titty out? Like we are just I'm just giving. So yeah, I feel like I usually unbutton one more than I think. I'm starting to I've got some grays in my chest hair that's showing, so I'm just like I want to put them on display. So yeah, I've got this like flower earring. I like this necklace. It gives a little like San Francisco has somebody got me collared up, and I'm like, it's me. I have the key. And this kind of shirt's great because if I want to take it off, it's easy, and if it's hot, it's hot. Let's do it.
Yeah, I love the pattern on the shirt, and then first of all, with the buttons unbuttoned, I mean, you need a breeze. You know what I mean? Like you got to cool this area down.
Yes.
So this makes sense to me. And like you said, this is a picnic in the park, so you might decide you want to get a little sunbathing action, and then you made it really easy for yourself because you only got to do like 2 buttons, and then ta-da, get that golden sun happening.
Yes. How about you, makeup wise for a park day? What are you?
Yes, probably I would not go with this giant false eyelashes for park day. I will come close so people can see this look though. Here you go. Let me face model.
Yes.
For everybody. So this look I would not do for park day, but basically like I've got my little face gems here, which are one of my favorite things, and I'm going to talk about them soon. I am wearing false eyelashes, which I'll also talk about. And then I've got like the glitter corner. We've got like a glitter highlight you can see here too. So here in Texas, it would be way too hot. This would just be coming off of my face. And I probably wouldn't do something quite this dramatic for park day. But I think that I would just simplify all of this. Like honestly, in the summer here, I a lot of times won't even mess with eyeshadow unless I'm like going out. Like if it's a daytime thing, it's like, okay, I might just put on some eyeliner and mascara. And then if I want to like do something fun, you and I are both a fan of the Fenty lip glosses, and I brought some of them with me. So this is actually a new one that I'm trying. I don't know if you've tried the cream kind.
Yeah.
So it has more color pigment. You're like, yes, I have all of them.
That's what I've been using. I almost put it on. Is it what is the color called? Fruit Snacks?
This one is something else.
Oh.
I don't think it says Fruit Snacks. Honestly, the print is so tiny.
Very similar, but maybe.
But it's a pretty similar shade. But so I had previously, I only had like the glittery ones. I had a lot of the glitter ones, and I love these. And these last for a really long time because I use these like almost every time that I do my makeup. And when I was on the website recently, I saw this new cream kind. Which has just like more pigment, which is nice if you are wanting less gloss and more color. And then, I also got this one, which is like this fiery, like orange glitter one that I feel like you would love.
Wow.
But so for those watching, I am not a lipstick person typically. Like if I want to go all out and do the lipstick thing, I'll do it, but I don't have a lot of lipsticks. Like if I do it, I like to do the like Sacha Velour, like red with like glitter all over it, sparkle. And it's like, if I'm doing that, I can't really eat or drink too much. I can't really like kiss my girlfriend. Like it's like this lip needs to just be looked at.
Yeah.
And it's just not my favorite. I like to be able to like use my mouth. I like to eat and drink and do all the things when I'm going out. So I much prefer lip gloss. So, but it looks fancy, and the Fenty ones especially, I feel like they just look really good, and they're so glossy and they make your lips look awesome. So this is one of my #1 tips is if you like want to elevate what you're doing with very little work, just put on a lip gloss.
Yes.
Like just add a little shine and it looks like you really tried.
Yeah. Yeah, and I literally did that right before this call. I threw it's here. I'll grab it. It's called Lana Lips.
Let me see.
It's Lana.
Oh, I
Yeah,
haven't tried this before.
it's made with. There's a oil that comes out when they like when they shear sheep for cotton. It, like normally would like they would just ditch it, but it's like really moisturizing, and so it's like
Oh,
trying to add to zero waste. But yeah, I love this. Like it's got this tiny cute little applicator. It's very precious. Look, it's like beep beep.
aw, that is cute.
Yeah, and then I just put a little, and
Let's
then
put it on
yeah,
there.
good to go.
That's perfect. There you go. So now two great lip gloss options for people. And the Fenty one is super moisturizing as well. And it like tastes fine. Like it doesn't have like a weird chemical taste or anything. So that's one of the reasons it's become a big favorite of mine.
It's just sticky, I feel. I feel that when I put the Fenty one on, like I have to have my hair up or I have to know that it's not going to get, because it's juicy.
That's true. And I think that's the difference with the cream kind. This is not nearly as sticky, I found.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's time for your first outfit change.
Outfit change. Okay, I'm gonna let you, like, you're kind of doing the roulette wheel, so you tell me what I'm doing.
Yes, and for those watching, I picked out 3 that Alex knows in advance, and then the final look is going to be one that you don't know what it is. So get directly from your closet. Okay, so you've already done picnic date in the park, not the parch. And I think let's next move to roller rink performance.
Okay. Yes, and I already know what I'm wearing. I got it.
Excellent. Okay, so Alex is going to disappear and put on their roller rink performance outfit, and I'm going to talk to you about some makeup stuff while Alex is doing that. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, so I'm wearing a false eyelash right now. I will come and bring it close to you. My eyelashes are obviously not this gigantic. And I am not a false eyelash person. I hate fucking with eyelash glue. Like, I feel like it's always coming off. So one of my favorite things that I've discovered is magnetic eyelashes. They're incredible. And so this is the brand that I really like. It's called Glamnetic. And the way that this works is you buy an eyeliner that has like tiny, tiny little magnets in it that you cannot see or feel. I put it over my regular eyeliner because I just have an eyeliner I prefer. So I'll do my like wing first, and then I'll just put this over that on the lid. And then these just attach magnetically. And it's the best thing in the world because it is so easy to put them on. It is a little annoying to get off the eyeliner after the fact, like use the micellar water stuff for sure, and then like wash your face really well. But if you want to do the false eyelash thing for a photo shoot or because you're going out and you just want a more dramatic look, highly recommend the magnetic ones because I do not fuck with the non-magnetic ones because it's just, I don't want to learn. I know that I could if I put a lot of practice into it, but why not? Why not make things easier for us? So that is one of my recommendations for you is these magnetic eyelashes. I'll also talk to you. Oh, we're back already. That was so impressive.
I told you, I was like, I'm going to try. I took this as a game show, so I was like, I gotta.
This is your like pop star quick change.
Yes, absolutely. Did you hear me when you said you had magnetic?
Yes.
I was like, what?
Have you not tried these?
No, I have not. That sounds
Oh
hard.
my gosh, for your drag, you will love them because it's just so much easier. And they have all different shapes and stuff. So check out the brand Glamnetic. They're awesome. And each eyelash, I think it's like up to 40 or 50 wears like per thing. Wow. So they're a little more pricey on the front end, but you get a ton of use out of them.
Yeah.
Ding. Yay. Okay, so this is your roller rink performance outfit. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm sad. Before we hopped on, I couldn't find the pants. I feel like today, part of this video, have you seen any of Mo Hart through Amazon Prime has this YouTube series where she like goes and like interviews like singers about their closets, and so
yes, like, I've seen the clips on TikTok all the time.
They're so cute. So I was like, what's a dress? I was gonna come up with a new outfit, and then I was like, my OG, my start was Midas Touch last year, and so I just like wanted to like share my outfit for you with that. So this is like it's close. It's not have the purple hammer pants. I gotta find them, but
But
you know,
it's the jacket! Yay!
the jacket. I've got a bodysuit. You know, she's sheer. It was
Mm-hmm.
fun. Amy, my roommate, painted. Can you see there's a purple heart on the back?
Yes! Aw. It's like
Yes.
your own little Prince symbol.
Yes, right. Yeah, so I got this jacket at I believe that they're only online now, but there's a thrift store in San Francisco called Showplots, and my friend Sarah Catherine showed me, and they just have all these like incredible, like, this jacket is just like these shoulder pads. I feel like I've had so much fun like digging into 80s silhouettes and like cropped, it's a bolero, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
5'8", so anything that gives me the illusion of like an extended torso, I'm like, oh hi, hello. I also feel like in the gender euphoria, it's kind of hilarious to like be doing like femme things while also like adding to like a, football player
Yes, the shoulder
big
pads.
frame, yeah. Um, Yeah, I have these like really amazing purple pants that are just like super flowy, and it was really fun to do like a skating number in all of this like princey purple. Like my friends were backup dancers, and the song Midas Touch is, the chorus is everything I touch turns to gold, and so they're all in the audience, and every time like they were kind of secret plants, and so like when the chorus got to that, I would like touch them, and then they would like burst out and like pick up what they were wearing, and then they're wearing gold, and so it's like I love purple and gold together. It feels very regal. It feels very like, my Leo royalty fantasy, just kind of getting to be like playful and like sumptuous. I feel like purple is like it's like my elevated pink. If I'm in purple, I'm feeling very like on one in that place.
I also am a big purple and gold fan together. Apart, I also think, with kind of the mixed skin tones that we have, like we have that golden undertone, and so those colors like look really nice and like catch really nicely in our skin.
That's a really good point. I never thought about yeah, the skin tone. I also am now remembering I love this earring. It's like a cute
Ooh,
little a jewel, little droplet.
precious.
How about you? I mean, I know apparently this is not your park drag, which, by the way, if you wore that for me for the park, I wouldn't complain. But is
Well,
this?
in San Francisco, I might because the weather is a very different situation.
Yes, yes, it's a little different here than Austin. Is this closer to like drag makeup for you? Would you like? Do you have any songs that you have done or are thinking about doing drag wise?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so like my sort of drag equivalent is trapeze.
Oh no.
And it's been a couple of years since I performed because of the pandemic and everything. Like there weren't performances happening for a while, which makes me sad. But that is the most similar thing where like when I do trapeze, like I'm not a very like ballerina graceful, like that's not my style of aerials. Like kind of like there's different styles of drag and there's different styles of roller and all these things. Like that's not my style. I usually go for like more comedic things, not always, but like more comedic things, or at least like I'm a character and I'm trying to tell a story. Like that's how I like to do it. And so for those, I get to like dress up and do something fun. So one of the performances I did was we had a video game themed show, and I put together a Ashley Ketchum outfit, which was fabulous. And I had like a little Pikachu stuffed animal that was part of the performance. And my favorite part is that there's a part where I'm like on my trapeze and I go upside down, and I had Pokemon cards hidden, stuffed into my like leotard. And so I took them out, and while I'm spinning, I'm like throwing the Pokemon cards like out into the audience, and everyone lost their minds. So that's kind of my drag.
I'm speechless right now. I'm so sad I did not get to witness this. I mean,
I have video, and I will send it to you.
You had me at Ashley Ketchum, and then you had to go and like Sasha Velour reveal your,
It's fun. I love it. It's like when I have the time to put together a whole performance, like I really love doing that and that audience interaction, and of course the complication of like being on a trapeze. So I'm also like doing fancy things in the air while
Yeah.
trying to give a character. And so, the songs that I choose is just like kind of dependent on if there's a specific character that I'm going for, or if there's something that I'm really vibing with. So the summer that like, was it High Hopes by Panic at the Disco came out, like, and that was like the song of that summer. I was working on a 80s workout themed performance to that song.
Yeah.
So like it was really high energy, and I was like, I just want to dress up like an 80s like workout instructor and like somehow turn this into a trapeze performance with this song. So random things kind of inspire me when I'm doing that stuff. But I'm curious for you, how did you get into roller skating? Because I feel like one moment you were not, and then I was like, now you're performing on skates, and this is the most badass thing I've ever seen.
Thank you. I mean, the funny thing is, I couldn't even tell you when I think I started. I know that I skated when I was in college, and I had a lot of fun. Like, so I went to University of Miami in Florida. Miami is very flat. Our campus, like, I would say to get from like place to place on campus is like 15 minutes to like half an hour at like the most, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's hot in Miami, you know? And so I'm like, do I want to like walk to where I'm going and just be like slow and in this heat? Or like, I don't remember how I came into rollerblading, but like rollerblading is such a fun way of like, I'm getting from point A to point B and quickly,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I became this like campus legend. Like people would literally like people would meet me and they'd be like, I've seen you around campus all the time. I've wanted to be friends with you forever. Like, you know, like, and so it's just this like really mundane thing for me that I mostly did because I was like, I love listening to music and skating. I love that I'm getting to class in like half the time. I love that I'm not like outside as long as it would be in the heat, but like to other people, they're just like, wow, you know? I think it's also skating, like rollerblading is very similar to skiing. You know, I grew up skiing, so to me, it feels very normal. And then
Mm-hmm.
I think the pandemic, like skating kind of like, for some people really like was there was that resurgence. And then Nikki Jizz and Mama Celeste here started that party rolling with the homos. And I just like, for months was like, this is incredible. I can't believe this is real. Like, I love roller skating. Like, I would love to perform there. I felt so nervous. I was like, I don't do drag. And yeah, like, I have friends in my life who just kind of like nudged me. And, you know, like, shout out to Nicholas, like, really had like a great conversation at a party. And it was just like, go for it, you know? And I asked. And I think that was kind of, it seems very like behind the scenes or like all of a sudden, but skating's kind of just like been a part of like how I get around, you know? It's not in San Francisco. It's so hilly. So, you know, I really can't get like from place to place, but as a
Right.
performance means, it's been kind of fun. I performed on foot on drag last week, and I was like, this is so much harder than roller skating drag for me, you know? So that was kind of funny to notice the difference. Yeah.
I think most people would probably say the opposite. So
Well, you know, that's what I thought too, but here we are. How about, I'm curious for you, you mentioned like with trapeze, you lean more comedic or like, you know, it sounds like kind of there's, you know, you're building in some elements of like play and things like that. Like where, when you think about your like adornment or your expression, like have you thought about kind of why you lean more towards comedy, or like what about comedy do you feel like helps you kind of like tell the story that you're looking to tell when you're up there performing?
yeah. So I think it's twofold. Part of it is that like I am not like a naturally super flexible person. So I don't have like a split or like this huge back bend. I don't have like a dance ballet background or any of that, or gymnastics. Like a lot of these backgrounds like a lot of aerialists have. And for a lot of those folks, they lean more towards these really lyrical and graceful and like, you know, soft music kind of performances where it's a lot of being in those poses that I physically cannot do.
Yeah.
And so, you know, part of it, there's a fear piece where I'm just like, oh, like, I don't want to put I don't want to do that, even if like maybe I was interested in it, which I'm typically not. But even if I were, there's just part of me that's like, well, I'm definitely not going to compare to like do what other people can do in that space.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest and say like the piece of it is definitely that. But another piece of it is that, like, as we've discussed, I am a Sagittarius. I live to entertain
Yes.
people. And for me, I find it much easier to connect with an audience like in a character like Ashley Ketchum or in like the 80s workout instructor, or if there's just some kind of like clear theme running through it. Like I did a performance shortly after I first came out as bi, and as I mentioned at the beginning, I identify as lesbian now, but years ago I identified as bi, and I did a performance to Casey Musgrave's Follow Your Arrow, where I wore like a glitter cape and cowboy boots and like a rainbow like leotard situation.
Yeah.
And it was this big like kind of like coming out celebration piece. It was very true to me. It was really fun. And I also like, I love that song and resonated with it. I love the idea of doing like trapeze and cowboy boots. You know, like that whole thing felt very draggy. Now that I think back to it, I wasn't like, I didn't know much about drag at that time, but really I was putting on drag.
Yeah.
And so I think like that was all appealing to me because like I can draw a really clear line between like what I'm trying to do and what I want the audience to feel and the connection that I'm trying to get from them and like the experience that they're having. And I'm like, I'm having fun if the audience is having fun. So that's kind of where my mind goes to and why I'm more drawn to those performances. It's not that the audience isn't having fun when they're watching like a really beautiful, like lyrical performance, because they're always impressed, right? They're like, oh my God, these splits are amazing, like so graceful, so beautiful. But that stuff just comes a little bit less naturally to me, and it's a different kind of audience connection, and I prefer a rowdy audience.
Yes.
So for me, I'm like, I want you clapping and screaming for me, thank you.
Yeah. Not the like kind of like silent, pensive, like, wow.
Yes, exactly. You know, what did we say about the Gaga? Like, I live for the applause. Like that's our line. So
yes. Yeah. Are we in this moment more Beyonce and Gaga doing video phone? Is that
yes, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
There you go. I saw a TikTok the other day that was like, you know, why do you think millennials like are struggling so much? And it was like because, and it was a screenshot at the end of that video where it said to be continued ... It was like because this promise was never made.
This is
like,
my attachment issues they stem from Gaga and Beyonce telling me that they would be back and they never were.
Never came back and it ruined everything.
Yeah.
Crashed the economy, housing, it's all over.
It's too soon. I thought we were keeping this playful.
Okay, I think it's time for your next outfit change.
Outfit change? Okay.
Okay, so the next one that you knew about in advance is bottomless mimosa brunch, which is perfect for Pride.
It's perfect. Okay. We didn't discuss a timer, but you know, you can just like imagine that there's some like game show music happening right now. Yeah, a little of that. If I was fancy and I had my computer, I'd actually play it, but we don't. Okay, so while Alex is changing into their bottomless mimosa brunch look, we're going to talk about glitter because it's my favorite thing. So, as I mentioned before, I have these little wee doots, as a wonderful person on TikTok whose account I can't remember calls them. So these are just like little face gems. Okay, so you may have feelings about Amazon and ordering things on Amazon, and that's fine. But if you're cool with ordering things on Amazon, you can get a pack of these face gems in basically every color for real cheap. And that's what I did. And let me show you like a close-up of what these look like. So this is what one little set looks like. So you can see the gems come in 3 different sizes. And I use the big ones the most because the other ones are a little bit harder to place, but you can use these too. This is another one of my favorite ways to just make something look like I tried a lot harder than I did, because this is a matter of taking it off the thing and sticking it on your face. So this is one of my favorite places to put them, is here in the corners.
They also look really cute, like directly under your eye in the center or in the corner here. I've put them all along my eyebrow, above the eyebrow, under the eyebrow. There's so many different ways you can use these. And because you can buy a pack that comes with like a fuck ton of gems in all the different colors, I think I have one to match pretty much everything. You can get like more fancy ones too. Like I got these ones from Doll's Kill once upon a time when I shopped there that are different shapes. Like these are good for festivals and stuff like that. But mostly I like to use these little ones. And again, like I could have done nothing else to my eyes except put on eyeliner and just put these on, and it just makes it look like I tried way harder than I did. So highly recommend face gems. The other thing I wanted to talk to y'all about is putting some glitter in the corner of your eye. So I'm gonna get really close. You can see I have some PC glitter here in the corner, which just looks really cool. So a more pricey brand is the Lemonhead LA brand. A lot of the drag queens use this. It's really, really good. It's nice and wet and it's very spreadable. I have this in like, this is the red one I was saying I like to do if I do it on my lips. This is the one I use for that. It's perfect. They also have some ones I just ordered that have like more like confetti or bigger pieces. If you want something cheaper, ColourPop has these too. This one has little moons and stars in it, and they're super cute. These are a little bit more dry to apply, so they're not as good as the Lemonhead ones, but they have some really beautiful ones, and it is far cheaper than the Lemonhead ones. So if you want something on a discount, then these glitters are what I recommend. Oh, we're back.
We made it.
We're back.
We made it.
We talking about glitter.
I heard. Will you be posting this to your page?
Yes,
Yeah.
this will be posted to my page, and also this is going to be posted to my blog with the full transcript.
I love it. I was like, I have a friend who couldn't make it, and so I wanted to ask, but I want to catch some of these glitter while I was like throwing myself into this quiz and these tips, these jams.
Okay, so this is Bottomless Mimosa Brunch. Let's hear it. Let's hear about this look.
Yes, this top came into my life.
Ugh, I love
it. Thank you so much. This is, I got this at, I'm going to forget the name. Oh, Squaresville in LA. It's my, like, probably one of my favorite places to go thrifting. It is, I believe, in Los Feliz, and it's like, just, I was meeting up with somebody. I was there like 10 minutes early, and I was like, I'm just going to pop in. Like, I hadn't gotten to go yet. I was like, I love this place. I like kind of know the sections that like I do well in, you know, like I find stuff that I really like, and I just was like at this rack and I was like beep 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 beep, and I saw this and I'm like, okay, wait, we've got shoulder pads, check, we've got floral, check, like this like polka dots, check, and then it's just sheer.
It's sheer. I love it so much.
And I'm like, I love all of those things.
Yeah, it's a cute shirt.
Thank you. And then we've got I'm like really struggling with angles here. I got my like mom, you know, kind of Levi's moment that I've been enjoying to pair with these, and then just some pearls, some sensible brunch pearls. I recently bought some of these for a shoot, and I was like trying to be more is more, and then I was like, oh, actually, like this is like something I can do. Andrew, my roommate, got me this really beautiful pearl necklace that I also like wearing as a bracelet, which is really fun. These are, I would recommend maybe. I feel like I'm figuring out they like weigh my glasses down.
Yeah.
So they make them extra heavy, but I just enjoy the like, you know.
I think they're so cute for if you wear glasses, and you know, a lot of times I have people complain when they wear glasses every day that you can't see like the eye looks and stuff as much because it's hidden behind glasses, so it can be frustrating. So I think that's a really fun way to accessorize like the thing that you wear on your face all the time, to be like, look, I'm just gonna make it look a little bit different. Like I'm sure they have a billion kinds of those, ones that are sparkly and ones that are different colors and stuff. So it's just another fun way to accessorize. Or like maybe you're someone who doesn't have your ears pierced, right? You don't want like something more permanent. That's a great way to do it temporarily too.
Yeah, exactly. I have this pair that I tried wearing earlier, and I feel like the equivalent of your, like you were saying with your the like red lipstick where you're like, I'm not eating or drinking. Like I was wearing this pair earlier, I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's got this like cute pink flower.
That's
Uh,
pretty.
and so they kind of like dangle from here. And when I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking, they I was just getting
Constant.
in the face. So if you put them on once you arrive where you are, perch and then accessorize, those might be cute because it's a cute, delicate gold.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of these on Etsy. I love an Etsy moment. I love giving, a little small business some coins. And yeah, I feel like if you're catching on at this point, some kind of shoulder pad. I feel like two of the three so far have had sheer and chest hair. I'm a simple girl.
I need more sheer in my life. I'm always like so enamored with all of your cute sheer looks and like your dedication to having good airflow.
Thank you. Yes, that's the next time somebody asks me why I love sheer so much, I'm going to use that's really dedicated to good airflow. It's not that I'm just being slutty and want to show off my chest hair or my body. I'm just trying to stay ventilated.
It can be both.
It's both.
It's practical and slutty. Like, what's better than that?
I'm practically slutty, I think is what.
Aren't we all a little practically slutty?
Well, how about you? For bottomless mimosa lunch? Like, what kind of zhuzh do you like to give?
Okay, so for a bottomless mimosa brunch, so it depends on like how late we're brunching, right? If it's like a true queer brunch, so we're starting like noon or later,
Yes.
then that I'll wake up with enough time to do something. But the same sort of thing is like, unless I'm really dedicated, maybe if it was drag brunch, then I probably would wake up early and be like, I will do the whole thing.
Yeah.
If it's just like, kind of regular brunch, it's more low key. I'm not going to do as much of a face. But I want something casual. First of all, I love brunch, so I like to have room. I'm not gonna wear something super tight to brunch because I'm like, I want to be able to like eat and breathe and not feel like I can't, breathe anymore.
Yeah.
So something like which is why what you're wearing is perfect, right? It's nice and flowy. So something that's a little more flowy. Don't really like the accessories in the morning. So earrings are like one of my go-to. I'm not wearing anything super interesting right now. I have these ones that kind of these go through the back, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's so interesting to me because when I was growing up, I was like known for my earrings when I was in high school. And at the time, where was I buying my earrings? Let's see, Hot Topic, Claire's, the icing. That's where I was getting my earrings.
Yeah.
But I always had just like, these earrings were ridiculous. Just like these dangly, like I had ones that had like two like dice on them.
Yes.
I had my favorite is that I did not even play guitar, but I absolutely had some like white guitar pick earrings that said Rebel on them.
Yeah, let people know. Yes.
Gotta let the people know. Be like, I don't know how to use this, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So I always was like really big into earrings at that time. Then I went to college and kind of backed off from earrings a little bit. And one of the reasons was because I cut my hair a lot shorter. I had it in like a Beckham bob for a number of years. And the pieces in the front were like thin. And so the earrings would always just like get into my hair. And so I stopped wearing like longer, fun, dangly earrings. Then I grew my hair out and I was like, I want to go back to wearing cute earrings. So the last couple of years, I feel like I've been really increasing my earrings collection. I also really like to support like the small business earring makers, whether that's on Etsy or they have their own shops. I'm always looking for places online where I can find fun stuff because it's just like, you can throw an earring with almost anything, whether your hair up or down, like it's cute. So I like literally just ordered 5 new pairs today from Etsy. Like, you know what? I need some earrings. And so I ended up searching. So that's one of my faves.
I was gonna say I love like Etsy and like Depop. I feel like I don't know. I mean, you mentioned earlier like having feelings about shopping on Amazon. I feel like I'm working to like divest. I think it like came into our lives. It was like so easy and like it like literally there's so much there that like I know the temptation is like, this party's coming up, here's a theme, I need something last minute, and I like Etsy and Depop as like you got to put a little extra time in. You got to have a little extra forethought because it's going to take a little while to ship. But like, I just always feel like the payoff is bigger because there's like the niche, the nichery of the niche on those. Like, you really can be like, I want a guitar pick that says Rebel. I want dice. Like, they've got it. You just have to look. So it's been really fun to like find that those things exist elsewhere and like don't even if you're like if you have medium feelings about Amazon. I'm like like somebody's like trying to make an extra buck, like you could probably help them out, you know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I love doing the just get a little stoned, scroll. If you're looking for something, hit me up. I love like this like adornment challenge has been really fun to think about. Like if I were to like do this bigger scale, if we had a party where it was like this is the theme, like I would love to like, kind of source everything more like secondhand or like small batch. I think that feels good.
Okay, this would actually be a really fun party idea though, right? Where you basically like come up with a few looks and everybody has to do quick changes throughout the night.
Yes, like a musical chairs, just kind of like speed dating, all of a sudden you just hear like there's got to be some kind of like jingle or song.
Yes, yeah, you hear the bell or whatever, and then you know it's time and everyone like scatters.
Maybe anytime a specific song comes on the playlist, you're like, oh shit, we got to change again.
Ooh, I like this. Do I need to book a flight to SF so we can throw this party?
Yes. Yes. Not for the party. I'm like, but you didn't even have to say anything else. I'm like, yes, come visit.
Perfect. Okay, so I feel like we should have your last change.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. While you tell me, I'm going to try to get out of this bracelet, or maybe not.
Go for it. No, remove accessories.
Yeah, because these pearls, they might be on. So tell me, what's the last category? Give it to me. I'm ready.
Okay, so just a reminder to everybody, Alex knew the first 3 categories of looks. I have a 4th one that you do not know and that you're going to have to come up with a look like this.
On the spot.
Okay, so my final look is very timely, is your look if you were going to the San Francisco Pride Parade.
Oh my God.
What you gonna do?
Okay.
All right, go. All right, Alex is gone, so I'll tell you more makeup secrets.
No secrets for Alex.
You don't get any. Okay, so one of the other things that I wanted to talk to y'all about is a new discovery, and we're going to say shout out to my good friend Allie of Girl Gang fame for this recommendation. So this is a palette of wet liners for doing different eyeliner looks. And let me open it because it'll be easier. So this is from a company called Glisten. And the way these eyeliners work is basically when you get them wet is how you get the color to go on your eyeliner brush. And so I'm actually wearing it underneath my eye. This like kind of maroonish purpley color under my eye is this wet eyeliner. If you like the kind of graphic looks that are really big right now through Euphoria and other stuff, I haven't delved into that as much, but those looks, like this is the kind of thing that you would use for that. And so you can buy all these different colors. They have split pans, which is where the pan is split in half, so you get multiple colors. I literally just ordered several more because I like these so much. And this is another way to make it look like you tried a lot harder than you did, which if you're sensing a theme is one of my favorite things, is how can I make my makeup look awesome without trying very hard? So if you have an eyeliner brush and you have one of these, all you have to do is you can just do an eyeliner line underneath in a color, and that automatically makes your eye pop more. It just looks really cool. You can do your regular eyeliner with this too, or you can add just like some dots around it, like kind of what I've done with the gem. You could do that with this kind of wet liner as well. So it's just another way to add a pop of color, have a little fun with it. And then the one other thing that I wanted to show y'all, because people always ask me about what I like to use for eyeshadow. And I have a lot of different ones, but the most consistent brand that I get my eyeshadow palettes from is ColourPop. They're inexpensive and the colors are excellent. And like they blend well and they show up really well regardless of skin tone. Like they have the examples on there. So I use 2 of their huge palettes. This one has a hair on it. This is Fade Into Hue. This is their rainbow palette. Look at that. I love this palette. I use it all the time. And then the other one I love is because, as we were talking about skin tone earlier, jewel tones look really good on my skin. So they have this palette called Play It Jewel. This is all jewel tones. So I have a billion more palettes than just these, but you could do a lot with these two alone, and they're, for that amount of colors, like very affordably priced, I think, as far as makeup goes. So those would be some of my other favorites. And then the only other thing I'll mention is highlight. So one of the other ways to really easily kind of elevate your makeup look is you want to do highlight on your cheeks. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, but I really like the Fenty Beauty ones. So this is their Kilowatt one. It's like a glittery pink is what I'm wearing right now. You can see that here. And then over this, I actually did one of those Lemonhead LA glitters I mentioned. So this is a holographic. So I just put some holographics here. You can see how it just adds this really pretty shine on top of the pink glitter that I was already wearing. And that's just another way to very quickly make your face look fancy. I've done the piecey ones I was mentioning too, like this one has the bigger pieces. This one has like stars and moons. I've done that across my cheeks too. That's a little more like I'm going to a show or a festival or the Pride Parade, which Alex is getting dressed for right now. And then maybe like I'm just going to the grocery store. But you do you. If you want to get fancy at the grocery store, by all means. I just don't have the time to do makeup looks for the grocery store in my life. I save it for me. So those are kind of the main ones. I'm so glad I got to share all of those with y'all. And obviously y'all can DM me or comment on this once it's posted. I'm happy to send you links and recs and all that good stuff. Hello! Oh my God! Shut up!
My friend literally just gave me this dress like before I got here, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna style it, but I just thought, I'm like, let's just do it. Let's bring her out.
Okay, we need a little twirl. This looks so cute.
Thank you. It's giving. It's very,
Look
you
at
know.
that. Oh, the beading.
I like this like really absurd sleeve. Thank you.
It's like very gestury. You know what I'm
A
talking
little
about?
bit. Yeah. It's we've got like it's pretty shapeless. So I think I gotta figure
It is. You could
but
belt it for sure.
you what?
You could belt it.
Yes. I can belt it. I feel it's like kind of in the not Golden Girls, but I feel like there's definitely a category of my adornment that feels a little, you know, I feel like I could be the Golden Girls like queer neighbor where I'm like, are you not wearing that anymore? Can I have it?
It feels like, yeah, like elevated gay Golden Girls. Like that's what I'm
Yes. Yes. See if there's somewhere different against it. The sun is like really giving me the business right now.
How rude.
I know, how dare. Is this a little better? How are we doing?
Yeah, there you go.
I love all of the Rihanna shoutouts today. I'm like, where's our coin? When are we?
I know.
When are we Fenty models? Because
Rihanna needs to give us some coin for all the Fenty shots.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is a loud pink, which I really love.
Yes.
You know, we're still keeping the sheer theme.
Because of course we are.
Because of course. Yeah, I feel like I don't know that I'll wear this here. It's kind of hot.
Yeah.
It's also like heavy. Can you like? Do you hear?
Yeah, because of all those beads.
It's a lot. I mean, it's intricate.
It is intricate.
I mean, I do love like wow. This is.
It almost looks like flames or like beetles.
Right? A little bit.
Pincers.
Yeah. So this is a maybe, but I just figure for the spectacle for this conversation, I felt like that could be kind of fun.
I like it. I love that for Pride. I actually would wear this to Pride, what I'm wearing right now.
Absolutely. You look incredible.
Thank you. This, I would normally, so I have this, I just took some pictures in this outfit actually when I did a recent photo shoot for Pride stuff. So I like, this is actually just like, I'll show you like a tube top. So it like stops here. And I have this black sheer, because we love sheer, skirt that you've probably seen a lot of people wear at like festivals. It has like the two slits. So it's very like warrior princess or like space warrior. And I wore it and this, I wore it to DragCon when I went to DragCon, and it was like really fun look, and it's also great for like if you're doing outdoor things, because I can wear like black combat boots with it, and like that looks like it fits the theme without me having to wear fancy shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of it. And yeah, if I'm going to Pride, I would probably make my eye look way more rainbowy if I were going to Pride, and I might do some like more obvious face things for that. But the outfit itself, absolutely, I wear this Pride.
Yeah, I love it. You look like just a rainbow disco ball.
That's all I ever want to look like.
Yes, that's all I ever did.
Makes me very happy. Yeah, if y'all can't tell, I clearly love glitter and shiny things. If you don't know me, if you already know me, you definitely know that about me. But if you're new here, this is why I've shown you face gems and glitter and shiny things over the course of this. I haven't even shown the fact, so I don't use these glitters as much. Let me try to show this without dumping them out. These are all glitter tubes.
Wow.
Of just like, there's different shapes, like stars and hearts and like a billion colors. This was another of my like long time ago Amazon purchases where it's like I bought all of these as a collective thing. I now tend to use more makeup glitters that are really intended to go in your face, these less so, but with some glitter glue, if I really want to go for it, I will use those as well. So I just like have an entire section of glittery things when I'm doing my makeup, which, you know, we're talking about queer adornment, talking about queer expression. It's interesting because I actually wasn't super into makeup pre-pandemic. Like I did some things, I had some stuff, but my makeup has really expanded a lot from the pandemic started, because when I was inside, we couldn't go anywhere, right? I wasn't getting to go out and show any things. And one of the things I did at that time was I got on TikTok personally. Now I have a professional TikTok and I've kind of moved away from doing a personal TikTok. But at that time I was just doing TikTok for fun. And so I was like, you know what? I have nowhere to go. I have a whole closet of clothes. Like I want to just do makeup for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just like that's when I started doing a little bit more makeup looks, was kind of getting into it and started expanding like my eyeshadow. And like I literally didn't know how to do an eyeliner wing as recently as like 2.5 years ago. Like I would just do on the top.
Yeah.
I did not know how to blend like eyeshadow, like all the things that I've just shown y'all, like a look like this, I could not have done 2.5 years ago. I didn't have the tools and I did not have the skills. And when I got really into makeup was when it was literally just for me. When all of a sudden I was like, you know what? This to me feels like play. And like when I sit down to do a makeup look, like, yeah, obviously it's nice when other people like it, but it's for me. It's because I'm like, I want to do something cool. I want to do something fun with colors. Like I want to play with glitter. Like I just want to do this for me. And I love to take photos after I'm done to just like have my little selfies where I'm like, I can look back at all the different looks that I've done and see how I've improved over time. And it's just a really nice creative outlet. Like my face is the canvas and like all of these are my art supplies. And I've always been like a crafty, artsy person. And so being able to have makeup be that for me now and has really become that, especially like since the pandemic started, but even over the last year, I would say I've really improved a lot with what I do and kind of trying to understand a little bit more complex things that you can do and what works for my face. Because that's the whole thing. Like everybody has like a different eye shape and a different face shape. So you'll watch a tutorial and it's like I have like deep set eyes that are more hooded. And like you watch a tutorial with someone who doesn't have that and you're like, try to make it work on your eye and you're like, oh, this is not work for me. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to like figure out those things as well. And like, what is your facial structure and what colors like look awesome on you or on your skin tone. So that's been like a fun journey, but I have really enjoyed that. And I think with the queerness aspect of it is there's like, when you're straight, there's just like a lot more pressure to like have your makeup look a certain way, to dress a certain way, like to be within certain trends. And I think the queer community is so much more expansive with like what you can do and like what people are intrigued by and what people are experimenting with. Like nobody is going to question if I walk out the house, you know, with face gems on me and like glitter on my stuff, like if I'm going into queer spaces, like no one's gonna be like, oh, you're overdressed for this. They're gonna be like, yas fucking queen. So that is nice, having that freedom too, to be like, I can just do this because it's fun, because it makes me feel good, and because like I know like the community is down for whatever it is that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. So that's for me has been like a really fun thing about makeup. And, you know, I'd love to hear for you just with like your fashion and the different ways that you've kind of been exploring that over the last few years, what your experiences have been like.
Yeah, I mean, just hearing your journey around it feels like it taps so much into that disability justice principle of anti-capitalism, right? Where you're like, I'm doing this because its value and its worth is for me. You know, you're not doing it because you're trying to book a gig or, you know,
And no one pays me to do this, unfortunately.
right, totally. But like, the worth is just there to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I think anti-capitalism as a means of disrupting all of this violence is like for you to just find joy
Mm-hmm.
inherent in play. Yeah, it's really beautiful. And I think that also then like it exudes, it's exuberant, right? Like I think people are drawn to, or it's just it reads, right? You're not doing it to perform joy, like the joy is clear. And so I think that's something that I also try to orient towards is like, how am I having fun? Like how do I um one of the things that I think like guides me is like, how do I become a caricature of myself? You know, like what is me to what is Alex to an 11? Like Glampy Tea is kind of that in and of itself is like an invitation. It's you know, it's I've said this like it's like a call to action, you know, for myself in terms of adornment. Like I can't show up looking drab to an event if I'm calling myself Glampy Tea. Like I've kind of created almost like a you know an accountability structure for myself to really like show up. Um, so I think that certainly plays a part. I joked with a friend Eduardo today. You know, I was like, ask yourself before you leave the house, like, am I giving the people what they want? Like, you know, like there's something that we all have that's really special, or some things like, and I just want us all to like turn that up to an 11 and just like really beam that. And so playing with gender expression. I think about there's a really dope org here in the Bay called Gender Spectrum, and it's for gender expansive youth, K through 12, and they do the summer conference. And I volunteered for 2 years, and 1 year they were like, they created like a gender map, right? Like, or the facilitator was like, we're just talking about gender identity. And so where on the map do you fall, right? And like basically invited the youth to like, you know, I'm in the like masculine mountains, or like, you know, like you just kind of something on the map. And one of the kids, like, you know, this is on the like a whiteboard, and you know, there's a piece of paper, and one of the kids takes the marker and like not on the map, but like somewhere off in the distance puts like, I'm on this planet, you know. And like I think that just immediately spoke to me of like the gender universe or the gender multiverse. Like queerness is just so abundant and limitless that I think anytime we are like tapping into that power of like infinity, you know, like there are just so many ways that we can adorn ourselves and express ourselves. I think that is like, it's electrifying. I think we all kind of like feed off of that, or like are like we amplify each other's excitement. And so I think I just asked myself like, how am I, maybe I don't think these things go together, but I'll try it anyway. Maybe I'm, you know, wearing too many accessories. I'm gonna try it anyway. You know, like I'm just gonna do it. I'm working really hard to be in spaces with community and people who like, even if from a style perspective, like maybe it's a 9 and not a 10. You know what I mean? I'm with people who are like, I see that you feel great. I see that you are embodied, right? I think that's another thing. Is like if your adornment or your self-expression is limiting your ability to be embodied and present because you feel like you're performing, you don't feel comfortable where you're at, then it's kind of like counterintuitive. And so to be in spaces where I can tell that people can tell that I'm feeling myself, and like they're affirming and validating that, like I'm trying to work towards embodiment. I'm trying to work towards being excited to be seen and perceived and like shared publicly. And so anything that I can like wear, adorn, play, like anything that adds to that is like you know.
Yeah. Well, I think something you said as well about, maybe it's a 9 instead of a 10, or like it's too many accessories. Like all of this stuff is, if you go into it for the reason of like play and I'm trying to find like what feels good to me and what is fun, like all of that is fine. If I had gone into starting my like true makeup journey at the beginning of the pandemic, expecting that my face would look like this when I did it, I would have quit immediately.
Yes.
Because it didn't. Like all of this is a skill, right? Like a lot of these things, like learning how to put together an outfit or to do makeup or to accessorize, like there's a bit of skill involved in like figuring out like what are the right products and brands for you, and what are the shapes and stuff that you like, and also just learning how to do it. And so I think also being kind to ourselves when we're playing with new things and figuring it out, and not expecting that like it's going to look maybe exactly the way that you pictured it, and knowing that the process and the part where you got to play, that can be enjoyable regardless of if you're not 100% happy with whatever the final thing is. And knowing like you learned from whatever you did, like all the times I did my eyeliner wrong taught me how to eventually do it right, the way that I want it to look. So I wouldn't be here without that, because it's very hard to get these things like right on the very first try, even though we often have that expectation for ourselves. So I just also that out to people when you're trying new things, like this stuff takes time. Have respect for the skill that's required to do a lot of these fun fashion things, and like make sure you're having fun while you're doing it, because like it's going to take time to get to maybe where you want it to be, and that's okay. Like, and for me, that's the best part. I love looking back and being like, I couldn't have done this 2 years ago, but now I can. Like, how awesome is that?
I used to be an American Eagle devotee. The pinnacle, like I am feeling like money, you know what I mean? So like the journey is big, the journey is long. I feel like
and never ending.
Yeah, the 15 years from now, you and I are gonna look at how we're adorning ourselves now and be like potentially just mind blown with the growth. So everybody who's on that journey, I see you, I support you, I feel you. Like humble beginnings all around, for sure.
Yes, exactly. All right, well, Alex, this has been so fun. I'm so glad that we got to do this. I've had a blast. I've enjoyed seeing all your outfits. Quick, while we sign off, if there's anything you want to say about your work or plug or any of that good stuff, please do.
Oh, thank you. If you're in the Bay Area, Thursday, I will be walking in a fashion show. We're talking about Adornment. I will be, yes, Impulse SF is hosting a fashion show. I just posted that info on my page. And then this weekend, anybody can tune into the Fresh Meat Festival. Myself and Lotus Boy, who is a trans, non-binary, Chinese American disabled drag king in the Bay Area, who I adore. We filmed our own like kind of Trixie and Katya talk show featuring 3 other queer, trans, indigenous, two-spirit, black and brown disabled like drag artists. Like it just was like this whole thing that we get to put together. So it'll be you can just screen it remotely anywhere, and I would love, I'll post about it tonight. I love if people could check it out. We put a lot of work into it, and it's like the most high production thing I've been a part of. Like there were 2 cameras, there was an editor, lighting.
Was she fancy? I love that. I can't wait to watch that. I'm going to look out for your post about that, because that sounds super fun and up my alley. For me, y'all, as I mentioned, I'm a self-trust coach primarily for queer folks. I'm most active here on Instagram as well as over on TikTok. I have a podcast called Conjuring Up Courage, where I release bi-weekly episodes and tons of queer content on there. And then I do one-on-one work with people, and I also run a group coaching program called Follow Your Arrow, which is a year-long program to help people develop their self-trust skills. And it's about to open for enrollment. The next cohort starts on August 8th. So I think like next week, I'm going to open the sales page and people can start hopping in there. So I'm super excited about that. Haven't had a cohort start in quite a while, so check it out. All right. Thank you everyone who was here. This will be posted to my blog if you hopped on late, and there will be a transcript. As soon as my transcriptionist finishes it, I will make an announcement in the next couple of days. We want this to be fully accessible, and it will also be posted to Instagram. So thank you for spending time with us. Thank you, Alex, for spending time with me. This is such a fun Pride tradition that we've started, and I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
I love you. Thank you for having me. Bye, y'all.
Bye.